What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here. Today, again, with something just a little bit different. Today we're doing some exploring and some off-road exploring, but different in the fact that I'm doing it in Florida, which normally is not known for being adventure bike friendly. Dirt bike friendly, yes, and I've spent plenty of time at Croom, but not adventure bike friendly. So I've downloaded the app OnX. I paid for it. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, and we're gonna see if it's worth the crap and finding... Rude over there. We're gonna see if it's worth a crap and finding any sort of trails that are at least a little adventure bike friendly.
Well, in order to go on an adventure, you should be on an adventure bike, right? Well, I know this is a Sportster, but it's got a little bit done to it to make it a bit more adventure ready. And while I will always say that any bike you take on an adventure is now, by its very nature, an adventure bike, even so, with this Sportster, it definitely didn't hurt anything to add a few things to make it a little more capable. And speaking of adding something, let's go ahead and get some stab and grab juice. Nothing but the finest for the Dirtster. That's full. First adventure, getting out of Tampa. Not always the easiest proposition. As you can see here on my phone, I don't have OnX on there. My plan is to use OnX, but maybe I was a little confused. I did pay for it, but I assumed it would work like a GPS where you could put coordinates in it and it would kind of give you turn by turn. It does not. I don't know if that's like a ridiculous thing to expect. I don't know how hard that is to do, to have a system like Waze does or like Google Maps. I guess it's probably pretty crazy expensive. So maybe it's not crazy that OnX doesn't have that, but that's what I was expecting. So OnX, when you put in where you want to go, it goes, hey, do you want to pull up Apple Maps or Google Maps? And that's how you actually get there. But it did show me some trails that, while I was like kind of aware of them, I wasn't really aware of where they were. So that's definitely a bonus. Anyway, I'm going to spare you guys the highway, even though the highway is an integral part of adventure, okay? If you're going to go on off-road adventures, you usually got to get on the highway for a little bit. Anyway, check into you when things look a little more interesting than this. All right, hopping off 75 at the Dade City exit, which is not surprising if we're trying to find some good roads. The closest place to Tampa where there's nice roads, this is where boy racers on their sport bikes, they come out here and race around the roads because they're all twisting and turning around farmland and estuaries and swift mud. And like I said, it's the closest place to Tampa that you can go and find some nice riding. Again, Florida has a reputation of being flat and straight, and it's a deserved reputation. I would say it's pretty deserved, but that doesn't mean there isn't good riding here. You just got to go out to it. It's not right outside the big city limits usually, and it's still usually pretty flat. I'll pick up some lunch to have from Publix out there, and I think we're set. Ain't nothing like a pub sub on the river or in the woods or on a boat or while you're fishing or any of those things, man. That is pub sub territory. The Publix deli, ambrosia from the gods. And by gods, I mean George Jenkins. They treat George Jenkins here at Publix pretty much the same they treat Walt Disney at the Magic Kingdom. He can do no wrong. The cult of Publix is strong in the wang.
Little known fact about Publix. If you're a Publix employee and a customer says thank you, you don't respond within 2.5 seconds with my pleasure, George Jenkins' ghost will personally materialize from the ether and beat you with a broom handle.
George Jenkins might have passed on and shuffled off this mortal coil, but it's only served to make him stronger. George Jenkins sees all. Let me give all you would-be adventurers out there and current adventurers a little piece of advice if you aren't already taking it. I don't know how this works on Androids, but if you got an iPhone, there's that handy-dandy little do not disturb thing right there, and I recommend that if you keep your phone on your handlebars and use it for directions, you hit that. Not just because when somebody sends you a text, and I get a lot of them, it interrupts where you're supposed to turn, but getting a text about something I've got to do later, that's about the last thing I want to see when I'm out riding my motorcycle. I want to be left alone, and I want to enjoy it, and I don't want to think about anything else besides exactly what I'm doing. So do yourself a favor, and if you don't turn the phone off completely, turn on that do not disturb, and you will have a much better time. Yikes. Come on, I got out of town to avoid construction. Ooh, I was the last one through. My man back there hooked me up. Otherwise, I would have been waiting for all these guys. Come on now, I just got out here. You gonna start raining on me? That just don't seem fair. Just a little sprinkle. Now, let's see what else we got out here. You guys who come out off-roading all the time probably know about this already. Let's see what we got out here. Definitely not going to be able to hit it too hard out here with this rain like this. And I'm a little sketched out about using my Insta360 for too long because that was an expensive camera and I actually paid for mine. So yeah, I think I'm going to take it off there. Probably not as waterproof as I need it to be. Supposed to be out here having a picnic with my pub sub. It's raining all over me. See, I wasn't sure if any of these roads I was coming up on, if these were just fire roads, if they were paved or not paved. This is something in between. It's not really off-road, but it's not really paved either. What it is, though, is fairly hard pack with some scree and loose sand and rocks on top of it, which is exactly the worst kind of thing for motorcycle traction that you can imagine. As it is right now, definitely gonna play it a little safe. And yeah, I can feel the front end washing out. So there's definitely sandier spots out here. Gonna want to be careful because who knows when this is gonna go from you know, on-road, off-road hard pack to actual sand. I am choosing to not air down my tires right now. I'll see if I come to regret that later. Cool thing about motorcycles versus 4x4s is I can usually go around. Pretty easy to fit between trees when you're on a motorcycle, not so much in a Jeep. So far, this wouldn't even be that hard on a hardtail chopper, let alone all the fancy suspension I got on this Sportster. Hey, being out in the woods is nice, don't get me wrong. Not exactly what I would call a challenge for old dirty bastard. The temptation to just haul balls down this thing is high, but I'm gonna avoid it. Oh yeah, that's slick as snot right there. All right, I'm trusting in Onyx now because yeah, there's definitely no signal out here. All right, whatever you say. If I had an air pump with me, which I do have a portable battery-powered air pump, if I had an air pump with me, I would have aired down the tires. I just don't. Ooh, definitely don't want to go off there, man. Straight swamp on the side of this. Well, that's awful nice of them. That's just like extra encouragement to not crash, because the last thing you want to do is have some dude who lets you by because you're going fast come up on you when you're tangled up in a heap. I mean, you would want him to come up on you because you want the help, but talk about embarrassing. This really just drives home the fact that Florida, there's barely anything here, man. Florida is just so much of it is wild like this. You got the cities, of course, and nobody ever does anything but go to the cities, but it's so freaking big. The vast majority of it looks just like this. So it seems pretty unreasonable to say that there ain't no such thing as adventure motorcycling out here, though I kind of hate that as a term. Damn state's like 90% wild. There's adventure to be had. And the other 10%, well, it can get pretty wild too, trust me. This is telling me to go straight, but it looks like we got a gate up here. This is a gate I'm allowed through or not? It says no vehicles beyond this point. What does that mean? I think it means that way? Huh, I'm not really sure. It's definitely a little wilder over here. As to whether I'm allowed over here or not, I have no idea. Oh, my GoPro is just like filthy. Yeah, you guys haven't been able to see anything in a while, huh? Let's go ahead and rectify that. Gotta imagine they probably meant it about no vehicles being allowed back here, because otherwise this would be a lot more tore up. Oh, whatever it is, does not look like it is currently occupied. What the heck? And we got another gate. It's got a lock on it? Yeah, it's locked. All right, is there a way around this, or do we just have to go back the way we came? Whew. Foot down turnarounds on the Sportster are not exactly the easiest thing in the world, but they are possible. Looks like there's nothing but more gates over here. Well, maybe I'm really not supposed to be back here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Someone has kindly left a hole in the gate for me. Well, that is just so freaking nice of them, isn't it? Let's see if I can get through here without getting stuck in the mud. Whew. All right. Now, is there going to be a way on the road? There is! Gosh, people are so nice. Where there's a will, there's a way, baby. Well, that was my last dropped pin, but there's only one road in, so there's not really any turns after this, so let's just see where it goes. I can't really use my GPS anyway because there is absolutely no signal out here and it's running off a stored map. Well, I mean, I say GPS, I could use my GPS but if I had a GPS, but I left that at home. Just wanted to see how the Onyx worked because so many people say they use that instead of GPS. How is this a named road? It says Bay Lake Road. This is, whatever y'all say, I guess. Alright, well, left it is, I guess. Kind of got like mentally I could probably get back to where I was. I'm trying to get to the Rich Loam area, which is like it's a center grade road. I think that's the road I was originally trying to get to. I was just trying to take the back way there. Okay. So yonder. I'm gonna be getting lost here in a minute, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been someone out here today, that's for sure. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo. That freaking mud is treacherous. Stuff is probably looks like nothing on camera, but you definitely gotta let the bike dance around in it because it will just randomly pull you every which way. So it'd normally be sand, but now it's just kind of mud. And it is hiding divots all over the place too. Not really that weird to ride in if you're used to riding off-road in Florida because the majority of it is sand like that. But if you ain't from around these parts, it might be a little weird for you. Gotta be careful with this stuff because it's a little bit of a split in the difference, man. I should really be going faster than I'm going right now for some of that deeper sand, which is just kind of mud now. But the problem is the terrain is changing so much from hard pack to like this, which is halfway paved, to deeper mud, that if you get any speed up and the terrain changes all of a sudden, you could leave yourself in a bad spot. There's a lot to explore out here. I don't know, man. I just kind of was thinking the way that people talk about it, Onyx is like a replacement for a GPS, and I just don't think it is, because right now I'm seeing all these little trails that are kind of shooting off of this thing, and I'd be down to go explore them, but you know, I got no signal out here, and dude, there ain't nothing's marked, so if you get turned around, baby, you're on your own. This is Rich Loam, I guess? I'll be honest with you, boys, I'm not really sure. I don't really know where I am now. I find myself at a crossroads. I mean, someone's been out here drinking beers. Oh, supposedly if I just go straight, that takes me to a main road. Let's see how true that is. Oh, this rain would piss off, dude. Saw the sun, but for a moment, back to the drizzle. I see why y'all up in Oregon and Seattle, Washington, and all those places, Chicago. I see why you guys get depressed, man. I've been dealing with this weather for 3 days, and I'm over it, man. Where's the sun? Give it back to me. And trust me, I know I still got it good compared to y'all, even with this dreary weather, because I'm still in shirt sleeves and it's not really that bad. Well, you know what, boys? Drizzle is taking the fight right out of me. Plan to have a beautiful picnic in the woods. Beautiful picnic in the woods and eat my Publix spear to George Jenkins. May he watch over me out here in the middle of nowhere. But not really exactly a beautiful day for a picnic, is it? All right, ice all my camera gear. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off and head home.
Yeah, I had pretty much had it out there. Just riding in the rain for a few hours off-road has started to take its toll. I want to give Onyx another shot, so I'll definitely try to use it again, but as of right now, I think I was just kind of confused as to what it was supposed to be. But I did pay for it, and I want to get my money's worth, so I'm going to keep on trying to use it, see what trails it can find me, and maybe it's just Florida. Maybe there's just not a lot of stuff available around here, so Onyx really doesn't do as much as if I was in, like, Colorado or something where there's trails everywhere. We'll check back in with you guys as I use it more and either get very frustrated and angry with it or come to love it. Only time will tell. If you use Onyx, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you like about it, what you don't like, how you use it. I think maybe I'm just approaching it the wrong way. Anyway, let's go to a sunnier day. What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here, up here at Bert's Barracuda. Once again, showing you guys this 97 Heritage Softail. It's an Evo, baby, but it's been done completely up by the boys here at Barracuda and over at Black Widow, benefiting project one vet at a time. Cholo build, it's got the big beach bars, the big old nacelle, it's a Heritage, it's a beautiful bike. You ain't gotta do nothing to it. Like when I rode it the first time, I said I'd put fishtails on it if it was mine, but that's about the only thing I changed. But outside of that, what it's really supporting is people who are homeless and veterans in this world. I can't believe that here in America that people are homeless regardless of the amount of money that gets made here. It drives me insane that people live on the street, let alone somebody who served their country. And the really insane part about that is that they do have VA benefits, but they can't receive their VA benefits until they have a physical address. So that's what this organization is doing, one vet at a time. So there'll be a link down below if you want to buy some raffle tickets for this bike. You know what? Every once in a while, Karma points at you and says today's your day to do something nice for somebody. But even if today isn't your day to win this Heritage, you know you're doing something good, man. Helping people who served this country and gave up a lot for it, who are now living on the street and absolutely shouldn't be. They have the ability, the money's out there for them. They just have to cross this one hurdle, and that's what we're doing here.
Tampa's finest. That Stalingrad juice, baby. I guess yours gets 93 too, because mine needs it now.
I'm almost full.
Sportsters are always in a state of needing gas, even when they're full. Nice getting on this after spending some time on the chop, baby. I feel like I'm straight up in the air. I mean, when you've got a bike that Blissful Ellie at 6'5", all long, tall, and deadly, she barely bends her knees on. Yeah, this is a tall motorcycle. And the chopper is not. Between Shay Lisi's Green Goblin, Old Dirty Bastard, all we need is a green chopper Sportster and a green cafe racer Sportster. And we got the 4-pack, the barbershop quartet of Sportsters here. It's really just such a great example of how different Sportsters can be and what a cool platform they are. Further exemplified when you see Blissful Ellie sit on this bike and then sit on Shay Lisi's bike. Seeing as we're doubling up on green Sportsters today, swing on by Bert's Barracuda and see what they got going on for us. I heard my buddy Gunner's there. Kind of hard to get a hold of Gunner these days. I think he's doing about 3 different people's jobs. So, we meant to do a bunch of riding this winter. We wanted to do some ride camping and stuff like that, but so far, both of us have been so busy, it hasn't worked out.
Well, y'all, nowhere near as much happened in this video as I wanted it to, but that's all right. Not everything turns out the way I want it to. What you're seeing me do now in these videos is try to figure out how to enjoy my home state more. You know, I end up feeling trapped during the wintertime, like I can't escape the wing because it's cold everywhere else and I feel trapped here, but that's bullcrap, man. People would love to be here. You can ride here year round. Florida's an amazing state. I love it here and I need to explore it more. So as you saw in the last video, I was going out and camping on the chopper. I want to go out and do some off-roading and get way deep in the woods and camp on the Sportster. Doesn't mean I'm not going to take the chopper out again. As you can see, it is already loaded up. I just want to explore every corner of this state and I want to do it on all sorts of different types of motorcycles in all sorts of different types of ways, whether that's going off-road on the Dirtster or being a scumbag doing psychedelics on the beach on the chopper. Either way is fun and I like doing them both. And you know what? I think I probably could do psychedelics in the woods too. That sounds like fun. Anyway, until next time, y'all, keep it weird. The middle of nowhere, Florida. I do have a way home. Why not?
Oh boy, yeah, 40-plus-year-old shovelhead, and the inaugural ride is down a lonesome dirt road. This seems like it's gonna go well. You know, when a trip starts out like this, you know things are just gonna go swimmingly. I mean, it can't go anywhere but up from here, right, baby? Right.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade Tree, Army! Shade Tree, Army! Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree? Army! Shade Tree, Army! They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high.
Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.